Good morning. Well, you are aware that last year Paris Agreement brought some semblance of hope to the people who were terrified by the concept of global warming, which I have always not subscribed to. It might be a hoax, quite possible, but climate change is a reality. And climate change does affect people adversely because it changes their way of living, their way of thought, their way of perceptions. You see, you cannot fight absolutely the forces of nature and the matter of change. Change is the law of nature, yet efforts can be taken to mitigate, to reduce the effects of any change, and climate change is no exception. The brain of the humans is so sharp that it always finds out a way out of the problems. The old saying, necessity is the mother of invention, has always been true and would continue to be true. So there has been technological progress that has given us means to counter climate change and the consequent issues of carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Let's take up some of them which affect our daily life. The most important thing with us is the need of power, hydro. Nobody can deny that the thermal plants, apart from the pollution that they cause, are bad. They create smog, they create asthma and other respiratory diseases. So is there a way out? Yes. Our Canadian scientists have come out with that, and Canadian company General Fusion is the first company in the world to create a commercially viable nuclear fusion energy power plant. And it will only emit helium gas as the exhaust. It requires less land than solar power, than wind power. It is inherently safe. And the nuclear meltdown, which affects all the nuclear plants, here the possibility is zero. There is no long-lived waste, and there is enough fusion fuel to power the planet for hundreds of millions of years. Imagine. You set up such plants in the countries, and for hundreds and millions of years, you do not have to worry about either the safety or meltdown or pollution. And the credit goes to Canadian company General Fusion. Now, when they want to use it, and when the businessmen all over the world and the governments all over the world rush to use it, is a second matter. But the facility is there, the technology is there. It depends on the capacity of the leaders to make use of the technology. The second major pollutant is called to be transport. Transport represents 23% of the carbon and the global energy related emissions. 23%. Electric cars are there, but the biggest problem coming in the electric cars is the energy storage and the efficient battery charging technology. And I would say the University of Surrey has done a tremendous job in making scientific breakthrough in this. They have discovered new materials that offer an alternative to battery power and are 1,000 to 10,000 times more superior than the existing battery alternatives. It's a supercapacitor. And this supercapacitor has a potential for the electric cars to travel the similar distances as petrol cars. There is no need for the lengthy recharging of 6 to 8 years, and charging takes as much time as it takes you to fill your car with petrol or with gas, as they say here in Canada. So the issue of the cars and the transport is solved. Two major issues, the power generation and the transport, with two technologies, one from Canada and the other from good old England, are there to take you of that. Now comes food. People ordinarily are not aware that food is one of the most important sources of pollution, as it's one of the most important sources of human existence. 7 billion plus population needs a lot of food, especially for the meat eaters. And there's no way that you would be able to feed 9 billion people with the existing technologies, both for the quantity as well as the quality, and apart from that, protecting the atmosphere from pollution. So alternatives to start lab-grown meat, and that looks like meat, tastes like that, feels like that. And Bill Gates has supported a company called Beyond Meat, and this has created the world's first meat burger, which is entirely based not on soya, which can be harmful, but on the vegetable proteins found in peas. So, what the South Asians are fond of saying, roti, kapra or makan. Roti is food, kapra is a cloth, makan is a house. Houses depend on your generation, and now we'll come to later on to the building of the houses as well. But let's say of kapra and other needs, the cloth and the other needs, there's the manufacturing processes. Manufacturing processes contribute 30%, while transport contributes 23%. The manufacturing contributes 30% to the climate change because of the carbon emissions. And can you take out carbon out of the air? Yes. As I discussed last time, technologies are there to convert carbon, A, into diamonds, B, into paints, C, into other products like, you remember that, ethanol. So, there's one more company which has come up, again Canadian company, called Carbon Engineering. And this is doing what I had talked, ethanol. It's a Chinese invention, but it has also been done in Canada. And it captures more carbon dioxide per acre than even the plants and the trees. So this company is already running a pilot plant, a demonstration plant has been set up, and it is taken out 1 ton of carbon dioxide every day from the air. They capture it, they convert it into ethanol. So the technology has again come to your help. And then we come to buildings. The greenhouse gas emissions, the carbon emissions because of the buildings are 20%. But you can be sure there are ways and ways out. You need lightning, that's generation. We have talked of the nuclear fusion. You have talked of the power and the heating, the nuclear fusion. And what about the others? That is called the sidewalk labs. It's a part of Google. Google's Alphabet Inc. owns a company called Sidewalk Labs. And these 5 sidewalk labs are harnessing digital technologies. And one of the current projects is traffic flow through a city. Now imagine your absolutely pollution-free, better running electric car requiring recharge in the same time as you need to fill your gas tank, passing through the side, but then the traffic flow is controlled with the side lamps and the congestion problem is solved. So in case even if there is some pollution, the better traffic management will reduce air pollution. And there's a breakthrough energy coalition. This new group has been set up. Its members are Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Jack Ma from Alibaba, and Richard Branson of the famous or infamous from the Virgin. They have agreed to commit $1 billion in new technologies to capture carbon or to prevent carbon from going to the atmosphere. Now, these technologies which I have talked about are absolutely new, and they promise zero emission. They promise the planet to be cleaner than it was before. Hey, global warming fear mongers, where are you? Are you listening? The human ingenuity and the human capability is stripping away the layers of the fear generated by you, whether it's power generation or whether it's transport, whether it's manufacturing or whether it's building, whether it's traffic control or whether it's food. All the contributors to the pollution are being tamed to the human need without in any way decreasing the utility, making them better, absolutely pollution free, and the world would be better, happier, healthier. Now the point arises, this breakthrough in the 5 major sectors, is it going to be implemented? The contribution of this breakthrough energy coalition is great. But then there has to be political will. If people like the present Liberal government in Ontario, which has made a hash of hydro issues, do not have the will or the capacity to understand the technological breakthroughs, then the hope may not be there. Most important is that these politicians have got to be educated first. They have got to be made aware that here are the technological breakthroughs, and at least in 3 categories. We are thankful to the Canadian scientists and engineers. For the first time, I feel proud to be a Canadian, to belong to a country that might be failing politically, is failing, but is definitely leading the world. That's the strength of Canada. As I always call Canada to be the powerhouse of knowledge. But what's the knowledge worth if you don't use it? The demonstration model set up in British Columbia by Fusion people, General Fusion, should have been immediately seized upon. The model set up by transport people should have started working, and manufacturing model capturing carbon from air should have been implemented all over the country. and then all over the planet. We say that we give foreign aid. Don't give them aid. Set up the nuclear fusion plants everywhere, and that will be your contribution. Don't give them aid in dollars. That has the same negative effect as giving welfare here in the country. The politicians make use of that money mostly, and no benefit going to the people. Set up nuclear fusion plants, set up ethanol production plants, and start charging them royalty in the fee. Yes, that's the way out. As soon as the profit starts coming in, take your money back. You're not in the business of doing it for nothing. So that is what is needed. Use technology today, the technology of tomorrow, for a better day after. With these happy thoughts that technological development is proving to be rescuer and savior of the world, I wish you great times. Bye.